Glad to be back home. Really nice to be home. I had to dress up so much in Hong Kong that I got a little bit tired of dressing up. Too many parties for me. I'm getting older. But it's a family tradition. And we have big Indian weddings where we dress up in our saris and very formal gowns. But there's a lot of fun, a lot of dancing, and the children do wonderful shows, and you know, the wedding parties are big. It's very colorful. It's so nice. Everybody is so happy. So how can you not join in everybody's happiness? But for me, I like the simple life. But it was great. It was great. Great wedding. Great to see all my family so happy. And how are you all doing? Yeah, good. I heard you attended the course. I'm so happy that you came to all the classes. I know Louise was away. And thank you for the upgrade. And it was so comfortable, so comfortable. And remember Gita, the good old days? She used to get me up.
I know.
There's always someone to look after you.
The God sends, right?
And it's a big difference, huh?
It's a big difference. It's a big difference when you're traveling so many hours. It's a big difference. You arrive fresh. Otherwise, when you're sitting in those little seats, you don't. But I was very lucky. I was in economy first, and then I got a sign from the stewardess saying, "Oh, Louise said to upgrade you."
I have to beg, trust me.
She's the new CEO.
So I was quite happy actually because I had 3 empty seats, you know.
I know, because you texted me and said, oh, they haven't done anything. And I was like, oh God, I can't believe it, because I'd actually spoken to them. I'd actually gone in. We have a briefing before the flight, so I said, oh, we're really traveling, and you know, do anything, and they were like, yeah, don't worry, we look after her. So I just thought, great, sorted. And then you went, no.
So you were working on the same flight?
No, she would have been first then, but no.
Thank you. We'll be on the flight next time.
It's so synchronized.
No, but it is nice, you know. Anyway, away from the everyday world and back into the spiritual world. But you know, the spiritual world belongs in the everyday world. You know that, don't you? And the separation of it is where we get wrong. You know, enjoy it all. You know, if it comes to you, accept, adjust, and accommodate. Don't resist. Okay, I may not like big parties, but it's my family party. And so what do? The personal ego, using this as an example, will say, oh, I really don't like, I'm not a party person, I like to do that, I have to dress up. This is the old Nalanie, right? The new Nalanie will say, this is my family. It will make them so happy. You know, my mother gets so happy buying me a sari, doing this, doing that. Oh, I'll dress up like all of them. And they get so happy. And I even grew my nails in 1 month. Can you see? I don't have long nails ever, so tomorrow they cut off, you know? And because, you know, they get so happy to pamper you. And I think, you know, before I understood spirituality so differently, that it was all about saying no to life, and no to this, and no to that. And I realized that when you say no to things, you are saying no to God. If it comes to you, as the Gita tells us, whatever comes to you, take it with love. You know, in the story of Papa Ramdas, he was a monk, granted, but whatever came to him, he accepted. When he was invited to the king's home, he accepted. When he was beaten by the station master, he accepted. And this is, for me, true spirituality. Otherwise, you get stuck in a world of judgment. And you get stuck in, this is right, this is wrong. Of course, there are certain things that you know are not good for you, because they bring you to the lower levels. They make you go into very earthly things, and they get you stuck. Stay away from those. This is why the sutras are so beautiful, and the Gita is so beautiful. When you see danger zones, you walk away. Of course, in big things like this, you will always see gossip and comparison, and everybody will be arguing whose is better and who isn't. All you have to do in that situation is watch. Don't get involved. Watch. Don't judge. Enjoy the movie. And this is the transition into spirituality. They love it. They all love all their jewels and everything. They love it. How happy you feel for them that they love that. But this is not what makes me happy. Do you see? There is a love, there is an understanding, there is no judgment. It's just, wow, God, you created a beautiful world with so many different types of people, with so many different types of circumstances. I'm not here to judge, I'm here to enjoy and watch. Many times when we become spiritual, we start judging. Do you see? I was like that before yoga. And even during the early days, and I see a transition in myself where I can just love it all. And of course, when you love it all, what happens to you? When you accept all, what happens to you?
Peace.
There's a solid peace that comes. That solid peace that no matter what's going on the outside, the inside is so still and strong. And this comes from your practice. Because the outside world will always, take you up there. Whether you like it or not, it's such a powerful force. It's such a powerful force. But you have to know how to withdraw from that which causes damage. And what to enjoy as well as the flowers of this earth. And that is the art of being spiritual. Being grateful for everything, good or bad. And then you have a good laugh. When people start taking things so seriously in themselves, you sit back and you go, oh, no, I feel free. I don't need to get involved. There's a freedom that you feel. Nothing is mine anyway. And this is spirituality, this feeling of freedom inside. May not look like it on the outside, but on the inside, there is a joy, there is a non-attachment. It's a non-attachment, we're letting it go. And this, for me, is real renunciation. Many of us have seen people go into the spiritual, I'm not going to do this, and they're angry all the time. They're frustrated all the time. They're in a bad mood all the time. What is the point of being spiritual if you cannot be happy? We were born to be happy. We were born to be joyful. We were born because we have a short life here. So it should be, and you cannot be happy if you don't have peace. Because happiness will be one day good, one day sad, one day happy, one day sad. But when you have peace, you can be happy. Even on the bad days, you can watch the bad days. Recently, somebody lost a family member, and he said to me, I could watch it. I could just watch it, you know, and be so able to accept the passing with great love. And I said, then you've learned yoga. You can watch it. You can feel the pain, watch the pain, and not get involved with it. That's yoga. You've learned yoga. And how many of you recently have had parents that have been ill or lost your family members, mothers, fathers? And Terry, how's your dad doing?
He had a relapse.
He had a relapse, right?
We see him now.
Yeah, so many of you, huh?
You said that to me, you weren't sure.
Yes, so many of you. Louise lost her mom, and then Carol lost her mom, and then, you know, you lost your grandma. There's so many people in this, and everywhere. A lot of people leaving the earth. So, yeah, and it's great when you can go and let it go, and let them go, and, you know, and then find yourself in your world not insecure because you've lost someone. So many people, when they lose someone, they feel very insecure after that about their own lives, you know. There's nothing to feel insecure about, right? You're immortal, aren't you? Are you immortal?
Yes.
Yeah. Start to say it more. As Master Shivananda says, you know what I always repeat? Will you say it?
I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, immortal self I am.
You really got it. God bless you. You really got it. Keep repeating it. Keep repeating it. When you have a pain, when you have some physical ailment, when your mind is getting dizzy with all those thoughts, tell yourself, you know, this is really an illusion. It's a dream. It's a nice movie, so don't get so involved in it. Don't get so involved. See it. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. I don't die, so don't get so hung up. This will pass, this will pass, this will pass. And then you really laugh. But you have to work a lot at it before you get it. It doesn't come overnight. Somebody's very cold out there. Do you want to invite them? So that is so now you're nearly at the end of your sutra course. Today we're going to speak a little bit about meditation. So first of all, I want to ask you all, how many of you in this room meditate every day? Every day. Okay, this is quite good. Quite good. How many of you in this room meditate twice a week? Okay. More than twice a week and not every day? Okay, not so bad. Okay. What are we? Not so bad. It's not so bad. How many of you don't meditate at all? Not one. You can tell the truth. There's no judgment. Don't meditate at all. Okay, not one. Wow, this is brilliant. You know, I taught in Gibraltar for 10 years, and I asked the same question. There were many who didn't meditate at all, right?
Yes.
Even after 10 years of talking. And I thought, what am I doing?
There's lots of new
There were always
students
new
coming
people
now.
in the room.
I know, that's true. We always have new people every week, you're right. But I don't ask that question, really, because now we have lots of new people every week. So, why meditate? Now, you've been doing this course with me for some time now, and you tell me, why would you want to meditate? Anybody in this room? I'd like to talk about that a little bit. Why would you want to meditate?
Quiet your mind inside.
Focus your
Quiet your
mind.
mind.
To connect.
To not be
connect.
pulled out.
To not be pulled down. What other reason? Yes.
To achieve your peace.
To achieve peace, great.
Without meditation, I don't have any visualizations that are actually my tools. So meditation is part of my working process. I spend 3-4 hours every day in meditational state, maybe doing something while that time, but I can't imagine life without. Great respect to people who can.
Wow, do you know, this is what I'm going to touch upon now. That's great. Thank you for saying that. Somebody had their hand up there. Yes.
To connect with my higher self.
Yeah, to connect. Right. And there are many, many methods, like you said. You know, some people can sit down. In the old days, I used to think the only way to meditate is sit down, quiet, and you have to sit down for 20 minutes, and it's not like that for everyone. I realize some people just can't do it. Over the years, I've learned, you know, I was very lucky for me, I could, and it was easy, but it's not so for many people. And it's not that they're better or they're worse, it's just that I realize some people need a different form of meditation. And I've seen that even with this different form of meditation, they have grown. They have grown. So don't make your world small by saying there is only one way to meditate. Just like there is truth is one, paths are many. Meditation is one. There are many ways. And I have learned that. You know, because we read so many of these books, and of course, you see, it's a different era, isn't it? We live in different times. We read so many of these books, and it talks about so many hours of meditation. And it was a different time. They didn't have so much going on as we do have in our world. The world was very much more quiet. So we really have to work a little harder in this time to have that quiet. And when everything is so noisy and you go into quiet, you can't do it. It's almost impossible. You get frustrated, you get angry with yourself, you get stressed out. And meditation is not about that. So when you first start and you feel all the things, you know, everybody will get that. When you first meditate and you sit down, everybody will get the chattering. All right? Now, one thing I would like to tell you, which I also learned, in the beginning I used to say, I have to keep the mind quiet, I have to keep the mind quiet. And one day my master said, what thought do you have? I have to keep my mind quiet. That is a thought. That is a thought. And it's very powerful thought. As you think, so what am I saying? I have to keep my mind quiet. I'm actually doing the contrary. I'm telling my mind I have to. So it doesn't want to. It's going to rebel, right? I'm telling it. So of course it's not working. So you have to see how your words and your thoughts are working. So what you do, Lena, you were right. Of course, you're crazy. You can go as many times as you like. We have our yoga brush down here, yoga baby. So don't fight with your mind. The most important thing in meditation is to love it, all right? Now, when I started to love, coming from here, and the mind is going da 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 da, it will do that. It's the job of the mind. It is the job of the mind to think, and it's not going to keep quiet so easily. So when I came across a Buddhist reading, and it said, you transcend the mind, how do you do that? And then I went on a flight, a long distance flight, and I saw all the clouds, right? You know how you go through the clouds? And you've got turbulence and you've got all that. But once you go beyond the clouds, it's all still and it's all blue. And then you look down at the clouds. So the clouds are there, but you're looking down at it. You're no longer in it. And so I thought, wow, that's how you transcend the mind. So this was really an interesting concept to me because it made meditation possible. Instead of arguing and fighting with my mind, I just decided to go beyond it. So I imagined what you call the higher self. I imagined the higher self, the witness, whatever you want to call it. It was like here in my heart, just the warmth. It just happens when you imagine it. You just have to sit there and think the higher self is with me or God is with me. I use the word God a lot for me. I love God a lot. I have no problems with the word God, but many people do. I have no problems with it because God to me is not a figure. God is energy. So when you have this warmth feeling in your heart, you build up on it. And then when the thoughts come, the clouds there, it's a bit of turbulence. And you try to work with your heart. Just breathing, just saying your mantra, any mantra, and breathing. Then you'll find so many things happening. You're able to breathe, you are able to do your mantra, and you are able to watch your thoughts. And this is the turbulent thing. There's many things going on. But you're able to watch all three things happening at one time. So when you stick with the breathing and the mantra, that voice eventually gets so much louder, so much stronger than all this mind stuff, all these thoughts that go in your head. So what happens? Suddenly this energy that is the higher self is there. You're watching it all. Da-da, 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 but you're not in it anymore. You're not involved in it. When that happens, there is real meditation. That takes time. And then after that, you can't do anything. By itself, things happen. So, now many people find it very difficult to get to that state. So, if you use the analogy of the plane and the clouds, it helps you. Another way, in the beginning, music is, as Shakespeare would say, if music be the food of love, play on. Play on. You're a great Shakespeare interpreter as well. When she gives a talk, she always mentions him. So, and that is it. You inspire yourself with music. You inspire yourself with beautiful music. Now, your favorite song will make you focus on the words, and what is the new song by Adele? Everybody loves Adele these
That
days.
falls.
Yeah, but the other one, you know, the one that was made the big hit.
Someone Like You.
Rolling
Yeah.
in the deep.
Yeah, Rolling in the Deep, Someone Like You, right?
yeah.
Now, if you focus on that song and you focus on the lyrics, it's actually very sad, isn't it? Yeah, and you'll get into a sad mood. So you have to choose the right kind of music. You know, even though it's a beautiful song.
It's true.
Yeah, but you'll start feeling sorry for yourself, and you'll start thinking, yeah, what was lost. You know, I met somebody in Hong Kong who actually had that feeling, the same lyrics. You know, she knew somebody in her earlier year, and now he was married now, and so she was singing the song to me, and she was crying, and I go, oh my God, don't sing it. You feel more sorry for yourself, you know. So you have to choose the right music, which is really, really, really important. Choose the right music. So for those who are inclined to chanting, and that's why we teach you the chanting, because we here as teachers, and I'd like to thank Kamala, Ole, Shanti, and Mangala, who's not here today, for really doing such a great job when I was away. Thank you very much for taking on that responsibility. I appreciate it. Anyway, so we, as teachers, we have to give you the whole spectrum, right? And then you have to decide what makes you work the best. That decision has to be yours. No book can tell you that. No teacher can tell you that. The only person that can tell you that is your higher self, is you. And you have to start now knowing you really well. Because you are an original piece, and I don't know what the higher power decided how you are going to connect with it. We give you sort of different ways to practice, and then you choose the one that takes you there, at least to your highest place. And nobody can, and don't copy anybody. Everybody's original. Please. You know, when you start saying, oh, this person did it this way, get hints from people. You know, but do it your way. You know, like Frank Sinatra said, I did it my way. And then regrets, you will have very few. Honestly. It's true. You will have very few regrets if you do it your way. But if you do it somebody's way, thinking that they're right, you will always be struggling with yourself, not knowing who you are, because it's always somebody else's way. Remember, the goal is the same. Paths are many. And I'm seeing more and more, like I said, everybody has to go their own path. Otherwise, you're holding on to somebody's skirt and you never get there. So anyway, choose a tune that doesn't do all these crazy things to you. Okay?
I did the border.
Yes.
Baby, don't worry about a thing.
Perfect song, folks. Everything's gonna be alright. Is that Bob Marley? Yeah, it was great spiritual artist. Huh? I just saw his documentary this weekend. Yeah, just this weekend. So, and he's come out twice. So, somebody else spoke about Bob Marley to me this afternoon. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yes, you did, Giselle. Right? Who was being said? Oh, and Rob this morning. I go, I don't talk about. And then you come up with a song. He must be with us. It must be, I'm sure of it. It's just all...
Is it not better then to choose no lyrics, just music?
That's what yes, aren't you getting clever? Did you hear that? That's it. Because of course, if you choose the lyrics, it's going to get you going, right? So this is why we do...
Verbal delusion.
Verbal delusion, yes. And you think you are peaceful, but you are not peaceful because you're focusing on those lyrics. You know, she chose the perfect lyric for coming across the frontier, not getting, agitated and upset. So that's why we have different mantras for different situations.
But it's still a mental modification.
Still a mental modification.
So the aim is to, if you're stuck at the frontier or wherever and you know you're late, is not to be affected. You're late, but you're still...
Yeah, but these things help.
Yes.
These things help.
Yeah.
So otherwise you've got your mind to deal with, which is saying, I'm late, oh my God, I'm late again, oh, frontier, right? That's why you use the music or the mantra and the chanting. And this is what I was going to come to next. We choose chants. We teach you chants. And the chants are on higher things that are beyond the earthly level, right? They're beyond. So even though they are lyrics or words, they are more based on sound. But it's good to know the meaning, because the meaning is also very good. You are my mother, my father, thou art. You are saying, Twameva mata cha pita twameva. Twameva bandus cha saka twameva. Twameva vidya dravinam twameva. Twameva sarvam mama deva deva, right? Thou art my mother, my father, thou art. You're everywhere. Why should I worry? You're my family, you're my friend. You're everywhere. You're my knowledge. And so, of course, when you're saying that, your mind's on a higher plane. And that's why we use mantra chanting. Also, if you don't understand the words, the actual words, the first language, the Sanskrit language, they say came directly through sound. Came directly through sound. It's been recorded. And Ole told me that in Russia, they were doing experiments with mantra chanting. And they found that it was quite incredible what it was doing. And if you meet Sonia Suma, who's doing the special needs course, she uses chanting with special needs all the time. And Lakshmi use it as well, right? And I take Talia, my granddaughter, on Saturday. She was agitated. All I have to do is do this, hold her tight, and I say, Om Shanti, and she's quiet. And my daughter goes, Mom, I don't know how you do that with her. She will never sit like that with me, you know? But it's the mantra, it's the sound. Yes, Ole.
Also, the dolphins, they really react to Sanskrit. And, well, you know more about that.
That's right.
Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he knows a lot. Sometimes, I have people here who do a lot of research. You ask them. I have no time for research. But ask so many people in this room. Yeah, they do. Yeah, please. I love it. And then I learn. I get the information. I can just be with people that I love. And that, to me, is much more important. Yeah.
There is something called solfeggio. I don't know if everyone heard of it. It's used by the Egyptians already, but it's like you have in your brain you have certain waves. You have tetra, and these are music specially made on certain wave. So people who meditate, when in a meditative state, they are in a certain level, in a certain vibration. And the music is on that vibration. So when you listen to that music, you get immediately in a higher vibration. And a lot of music that you can find that's on that vibration.
Fantastic. Thank you. And there she answered all that, right? And that is exactly what it is. When we do the chanting, it is music on that vibration. It's a higher vibration. And this is what you want to focus your mind on, higher vibration. Never on the lower vibration. And how do you know when you're on the lower vibration? You tell me.
Agitated, anxious.
Yes, correct. Yes, you're negative. So you understand now how when you sit down and force yourself to meditate, what kind of vibration are you on? Negative. On the contrary, you are doing the opposite of what you should do. And thousands of people have come to me after 10, 12, 15 years of meditation. And they're still fighting. I said, why are you fighting? It should be so much fun. I love getting up to meditate. I don't need to anymore. I know that because I feel like you do, like I'm always quite focused anyway, I noticed. But it's just my time with God. I have a chat, I have a good chat. And then suddenly it goes quiet. It suddenly goes quiet by itself. And before I know it, like the other morning I was up, and the next thing I knew, I got up at 5 and it was 8 o'clock. I said, where did it gone? I wasn't there. What happened? I was chatting and then there was no more chat. And that's how it happens, by itself. Because I don't strain, I don't struggle. If it doesn't work today, it doesn't matter. You need to be relaxed with yourself.
Can I just ask a question which somebody might be able to answer for me? The last 3 or 4 times that I've meditated, I can only say spun. It's been really where I've had to bring myself out because it's been so forceful that I've had to literally bring myself out.
Okay, that's
And
Kundalini. Yeah,
right, okay.
yeah,
The same.
good. You had the same.
Yeah.
How many people have had the same spinning? Yeah. Well,
What's the Do I bring myself out? Do I stay in it?
Try and stay in it if it doesn't bring too much fear. Try and pass it. You have to pass that
When you
stage.
pass, then it becomes nice.
Yeah. You have to pass that stage. You have to go through it. Many people who meditate say they get to a stage where they suddenly get frightened. Some people see spirits and ghosts. You remember, Kamat? Was it you that one time had a bad, was somebody else? It's you, right? And you have to confront that kind of world as well. Buddha had the same problem. They start to see things, you just pass it. Just know you're safe. Just keep saying it's all an illusion. This is an illusion. The Kundalini is rising. This is why we sit like this in a cross-legged position, like a pyramid, so that we're well grounded. So when you start spinning, you don't fall over. Because in the old days when people meditate, you can start spinning like this, and you can.
I literally can feel myself.
Yeah, you will do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That shows that you're progressing. It's wonderful. Yeah, try and get past it. Okay? Don't bring yourself up because you keep coming to there. It's like repeating.
Well, it did. 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
And I was
so
like,
pass it now.
okay.
Today, tomorrow you'll
Thank
pass
you.
it. It's a great improvement. It shows something. It's exciting when that happens. It was scary. Yes. Sorry.
A way that we used to do that is because, you know, when you go very deep, sometimes it's scary because you don't think you'll find your way back. But we create a thread through the heart so that you would find your roadmap back to your body. So the fear is gone then.
So you do that mentally. Create a thread.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Okay.
Yeah. Better still, you're safe. No, you will always be safe. If you're well grounded, if you do the yamas niyamas, those are your building blocks. You will always be safe. And if you're mentally stable, you will be safe. If you are not mentally stable, do not meditate. Got it? If you know anybody who is mentally unstable, do not tell them to meditate. Tell them to sit with nice music, give them lyrics, happy lyrics, be happy, whatever, but don't tell them to meditate. They cannot do it. All right? And they can go off the limit. So remember that. Yes?
About a month ago, I was in the meditation process for about 4 hours, and I didn't have any fear. I was wandering around, and suddenly I saw a very clear face of a man, and I was like punched out of that circle. What is that about?
These things happen. Don't give it energy. My master used to say, don't give it, it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion.
Physically damaged after I came back to reality, because that was so unexpected and first time, and for all day I felt sick.
Don't give it energy. Do the mantras, positive mantras, and it'll pass. Don't allow it to. If it happens again, say you're unreal, this is an illusion, go away.
Fast.
Yes, you have to do that. It's very fast. Learn to do that. Because anything you see, there are many dimensions, there are many worlds, there are many mental realms. And we have to be very careful because we move to a different realm. And there are many spirits, or whatever you want to call, that would like to take your body or occupy your body or be in communication with you. Can you tell the children?
He's outside. I'm just
Thank you, Kirsty.
Thank you. Thank you. No, don't worry. They're kids.
No, I just thought that was...
They're kids. They don't know that. So you need to be very careful. You know, when that happened to me, because I had lots of things like that, and I was very lucky to have a great master. You know, people like to talk about these things, and then they, this happened, and you're given one. He said, illusion. Not real. Don't give it energy. I love that. Do you know? I love that because it was so simple to me after that. So, not real. Don't give into it. Because then you get involved in their world, the spirit world, and you can be sucked in. I have had a few students that have been very... let me give you an example. Once I had somebody who came to the talks. This was in Gibraltar many years ago. And she was a very depressed person by nature. And she came to see me because she was depressed. And we got her out. She came to satsang for a year. She got better. She got happy. everything was fine, but she was prone to a weak mind, all right? That was her nature. So I always told her, you have to be around positive, and you have to be, you know, stay away from anything occult, because you have a very weak mind. So what happened to her was, her friend died in England. A very close friend committed suicide. What she did was extremely dangerous. She actually wanted to do automatic writing. She wanted to test the occult world, etc. So she took automatic writing is when the force writes through you. Many people experience this. This is nothing new. You know, your great inspiration at your best times come through automatic. But of course, you have to know who to allow in. As my master said to me when I asked him once about astral traveling, and he said, Nalanie, why would you want to do that? And I said, because it sounds really interesting. And then he goes, would you leave the front door of your house open? And I said, no. Why? I said, because anybody could come in. He said, exactly. Anybody can come in. It could be an angel, it could be a thief. You don't know which. So why would you want to do that? Why don't you wait? When you're ready, you need to astral travel, you will astral travel. Anyway, so this student was like this, and she was determined. She'd read a lot about, she wanted to get in touch with her friend. He had committed suicide. She was very upset about it. So she got a pen and paper, and she said, I want you to talk to me. She said nothing happened the first day, nothing happened the second day, but of course, if you, as you think, it will become, right, if you do it long enough. So she did this the third day, and her hands started to move. And she thinks it's her friend. I said it was miserable and wanted to come back to earth, and wanted her to help him. She got involved, writing back. Okay, she leaves England, she comes back home to Gibraltar. She has a husband and a son who's 12 years old. Suddenly, she did it for a few days and she got a little scared, so she left it alone. So when she comes home, and then things start to fall in the middle of the night. She has a poltergeist at home. Things start to fall, there's noises at night. So then she gets a little agitated. So I wonder if it's my friend trying to get in touch with me. So what does she do? She starts automatic writing again. And now she's writing that this person wants to kill her, wants her to die. I want you to die, I want you to die, I want you to kill. This is when she came to see me again. She hadn't come to the yoga center for 3 or 4 months. And when I saw her, I thought I was seeing somebody who was, dark circles up to here, cheeks sunken in. She was always quite round. I said, my God, what has happened to you? And she told me all this story. And she goes, I feel so safe here in the yoga center. And I said, you need to stop all this nonsense. You cannot do this. Look at what's happened to you. I said, yes, and do you know what? He said, he's going to kill my son too. He's going to kill my son too. So I said, look, just come back and I'll see you next week. But of course, she went, and this thing got worse. It didn't get better. So I told her, come every day to the yoga center. Our center in Gibraltar is open all day, every day. Give you a key. Just stay here. Because she said, as soon as she walked through the door, there was no more voices in her ears, because it was talking to her all the time now. All the time. She looked tortured. I thought, oh my God, thank God I had a good master. She was tortured. And so she came. I said, just come in to clean, do whatever you want. Because she taught me that our center was totally protected. So vibrations were very high. And when you're in a high vibration, low vibration cannot enter. So, this is low vibration trying to come in, and you have to stop it by giving it no energy. So I told her to stop it. And of course, it took her another 6 months to get peaceful again. It was torturous. I went through it with her, told her to make holy water, put it all over her house, never to touch a pen and a paper for 6 months, because the moment she did, that force came back, because she became the open tool. So anyway, when I saw that happen, I go, why do you want to get involved in that world anyway? Because she was involved in a world that, okay, it's a cult, but how miserable, what torture. That's not what life is about. Life is simply, make your life simply good. We meditate to connect to that highest sound. And then, again, that's why we do the chanting. That's why don't fool around unless you're really strong. Be very strong, yama, niyama. You know the saying in English? Curiosity killed the cat. Yeah. I know, these things are very curious, but you really want to go, why don't you want to live your own life in your own world? Don't you think it's enough with that? Many people are so interested. And I said, why do you want to do that? You know, all these fortune tellers, I mean, if they help you and they make you peaceful at the end of the day, great. But after you go see them, then you come miserable for 3 months. And then your mind is going da-da-da. It's totally against yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. There's no restraint of the modification of the mind stuff. There is more junk and more stuff coming in. What do you want coming in? The purest, the highest thoughts. So you can live just a basically good life, you know. Lovely thoughts like, you know, let me meditate on that great light. You know, may the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy. Peace and joy, love and light. Peace and joy, love and light. How nice to be on that level of thinking. And of course, when you're thinking peace and joy, love and light, peace and joy, as you think, so you become. Look at the thought pattern. Totally different. Totally on a higher vibration. So my advice, when you get these things, and you will all be challenged, many people have had experiences like you. I've had them myself. I got really scared sometimes. I can't meditate, I'm scared. You know, so many people. I get, you did, but you got this, everybody gets different stuff. So, but you will always have the negative part of it coming to you. Go over it. Don't stop the meditation. You have to pass it. And the only way you can pass it is do these chants that have higher energy, you know, and say, my God of love is with me, I'm not alone. God is with me, I'm not alone. Or Jesus is with me, I'm not alone. Or whatever you want to say. Light is with me, I'm not alone. Peace is with me, I'm not alone. You repeat those things. You know, in the early days I didn't know the chants, and I used to have lots of visions, and always since I was a child. And because I went to a Catholic school, I just chanted the Our Father all the time. It worked. It really worked, because it's the only prayer that I really knew that I loved. Our Father who art in heaven, help me, help me. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be. Bring the heaven on earth to me, please. I'm feeling torturous now. You know, so it doesn't matter which language, because it helped me with that language. Do you see? At one point, you just have to know what helps you the best. And that stage of my life, I couldn't have done without the Our Father. It was my savior. Each day, you know, when I had these awful things, you know. And then, of course, the chants came, and then I started to do them more and more and more. And now I do all of them, all for fun. All for fun. To elevate the mind. So that's why we chant. And today was to explain to you why we chant. To elevate the mind in a higher dimension. To keep it there. If we don't keep ourselves in that vibration, we cannot receive the light. And of course, like I said, you also have to be aware when you go through any road in life, any direction. You know, they always say, you know, with a rose there are thorns, right? So on our road, there will be many, many thorns. Keep your eyes on the smell of that rose and on the rose. Don't focus on the thorns. Thorns will come, and you have to pass that. You have to pass it. All right? There will be many, many, many obstacles, but life is full of obstacles. And every time you get past one, you go, yeah, I did it. Next one you want to come? Be frightened of me. You can't defeat me. When you say that to yourself, you really feel it. You really feel it. Next time you get depressed or sorrowful, you can't overcome me. I am stronger than you. And then you get really powerful with that. I am stronger than you. I may have been born with a nature that's like this, but the real me is beyond the nature, is beyond nature. And that's Sutra 16 in the Yoga Sutras of Sri Patanjali Book 1. To rise above the gunas. To rise above nature. So that is chapter 16. So you don't allow it to drown you. You got it to rise above it. This may be my nature. And you know, my guru really taught me this in a very simple way, because for years, you know how we're brainwashed to think a certain way, right? I remember I was having lunch with him at the ashram, and I said to him, you know, Gurudev, I don't know why God made me a Gemini. We're supposed to be fickle. But you know, Gurudev, I'm really not so fickle, but I don't know why God made me a Gemini. You know? Actually, I knew I'm really a very loyal person by nature. Even though a Gemini, I'm very loyal. I can stick with something for a long time. But because everybody tells you for years you're a Gemini, you're fickle, you're this, you're that, there was a side of me that believed it, and he just looked at me. And he said, no, Nalanie, you are a gem in I.
Wow.
So, thank you. I actually did that. I just wasn't
sure that one with us before.
Yeah, yes, I've told it many times, many times. So, after that, I could tell people, don't be limited by your horoscope. Horoscope. So don't be limited by that. Don't get involved with it. You can transcend it. You can transcend it. You transcend. See, we all come with certain characteristics, because we all have lessons to learn. So we're born in a certain planet with certain personality and certain this and that. And the idea of getting that is to transcend it, to go beyond the gunas, to go beyond that personality, to become the personality that is all-pervading, all one. Of course, you will always have your human personality, but that human personality does not overcome you. You overcome it. Because your human personality is just there for you to learn. So if you've got a lovely human personality, use it in the best way possible. If you've got one that is quiet, use it in the best way possible. Know yourself well. Everyone has a different human personality. If you're prone to just wanting to paint and paint all day, use that to the highest good. Paint for the world. That's your meditation. You play music for the world. Oh no, I'll never be great, so why should I play? Play for the world. Because that's your personality. If you go against it, you will never be happy. And that's when you'll find God, when you love your personality and you bring the best out of your personality. Because you can only love your neighbor if you love what God has given to you. If you can love you. So all you have to do is stop doing the things that you don't like about you. That's all you have to do. Stop doing the things that you don't like about you. So if you tend to get angry a lot, I don't like that about me. I'm not going to justify it. And you'll hear yourself making excuses. No, this person, when you hear yourself blaming, you're justifying your anger. No. My nature is I always get angry at every little thing. I make a big thing out of every little thing. I need to stop that. And when you tell yourself that, when it comes up, you see it so clearly. Sometimes you slip and you go, oh, slipped again. Next time I won't slip. You know, if you have a tendency to complain, every time you complain, oh, that's why I was brought to complain, so that I can transcend complaining. And that's when you transcend your nature. And that's all we have to do, is remove that, you know. Don't fight with it, no big deal. Everybody has a nature. We all come with a lesson to learn. It's no big deal. Just get over it. Get over it. And that's when meditation really helps. Because the more you meditate, the more quiet, the more you can watch what's happening with your thought patterns. Oh, today I'm got up a little worried, I'm a little agitated. Okay, what medicine do I need for today to take me out? What medicine do I use? Because you can watch it, you can fix it. Don't panic about it. Oh, I'm agitated again, I've meditated for so many years. Welcome to the world of human beings. It's always going to be like that. And everything is going to be all right. It will be all right. Just don't fuss. Do you see? It's always about not giving things too much attention. Less attention on the I, and more attention on the we, the us, the peace, the joy. Less focus on what is so important to you. And then you will be taught all the things that you need. All the greatest masters tell us that, and it is absolutely true. Whatever you need will be given to you. You do not have to worry. Please understand that with all your heart and soul. And it will happen when you really have that faith, and when you really trust, and you will be tested to the hilt. Any of you in this room not tested? I bet you not even one. Look how normal you are. Isn't that normal? There's nothing extraordinary in anything that happens. Nothing extraordinary. What is extraordinary is when we can really communicate with the highest force. That's extraordinary. What is extraordinary is we can sit in a room full of love and light and kindness. That is extraordinary because it doesn't happen so much anymore. And we're creating that energy around us. That is extraordinary. So let us do more extraordinary things. And that's how we should live our life, every day. And extraordinary, it sometimes lives in the very ordinary. Ask Mary, she knows. I come home and I see my garden full of purple flowers. What a lovely gift, thank you. And she goes, oh, it's nothing. It's just she loves gardening. Yeah, she may think it's nothing. For me, who doesn't even know how to plant a seed properly, I plant it. It grows, but then after a while it dies. So what do? I don't have green fingers. I have to sing to my plants. Then only do they live. And they love mantras, by the way. Somebody has a gift. You see, you don't know where the gift lies. Everybody has their own gift. So make your gift, a little gift, extraordinary. And you really do see it in the simpler things. It's not in the complicated things that make life so beautiful. It's cooking a beautiful dish and everybody saying it's delicious. How good does that make you feel? It's, the little things, doing something considerate for somebody else, how good it makes you feel. And thank you, these two guys really helped me today to get internet for my guest. Thank you very much.
Still not working.
It doesn't matter. What is important is that you really, the journey. Yeah. What is important that is the effort, yeah. No expectations. We do our best and that's it. And it's great that people can be there to help you, and it's wonderful when you need it. It's great. And that's the journey that we can all walk with each other. These little things that are fun, that are easy, and you have a good laugh, and it doesn't work. That's not the point of it. Some things will not work. Sometimes in your life, you work hard and something just doesn't work. What can you do? Why? I really don't know. I always say it's karma. It's a good excuse. It answers everything. It's karma, don't worry about it, Nalanie. You fall in tricks, karma, don't worry about it. So, and then it's good, you don't worry about it, no point. Just what can I do next? What can I do next? And meditation brings you more and more to that stillness.